Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We are back after a long weekend. It was a good weekend. I got to watch the new Strange New Worlds season 2, episode 1. It's so far so good. Carol Kane. Oh, if you know, you know. I also saw a couple movies. I've gotten really behind on my A list, like utilizing it, and so I went and I saw the new Transformers movie. I think they're getting better. Yeah, like they had a bumpy ride, but these new ones are pretty good, and the way that they look, like the design of the characters, I think has gotten better. So I went and saw that in 3D. So I live close to like the best IMAX we have here in the city. So I try to see movies at it as much as I can. And then yesterday I went and I saw The Little Mermaid because I hadn't seen it yet. And I have 3 movies a week, might as well. It was good. They made kind of a lot of subtle changes that I really enjoyed. Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, excuse me, was pretty good. Yeah, getting all choked up for some reason. Okay, but today we're back to working on the charity activations app, like we do. And Friday we had our very first distributed tea time with my coworker Rob. And we went through migrating this database. So we were using a single region database for this application, and we migrated it to a multi-region. And so we got a little bit of work to do on that, but to be able to use that to its fullest, today we're going to move away from using a single region Lambda function hosted by Vercel, and we're going to deploy this to fly.io, which has gotten pretty popular. Everybody is talking about it, so I brushed up on my Docker skills, which were very few, and I did get, so like my streaming application, so that does all of these scenes, I did get it moved over to using Fly. There is a piece of it that I use for like generating like the promo images for a different show that like uses more RAM than fly.io gives me, which is not great, but I'll figure out a way around that. But it's cool, like it starts up a lot faster than the render did. But yeah, so I'm going to see if I can do it again. So the difference here with this one is we've been using Vercel functions to deploy this, where now what we want is a long-running Node.js application, Node.js and Express application. And so we're going to have to change the way that Remix is told to deploy it, like what it's looking for. So instead of looking for like a specific function or building out like a specific function to handle all of the things, we need to switch that to use like a server.js, and so we're gonna have to kind of rebuild the backend a little bit, but I think I can borrow the backend from like this serverless app, or this streaming app that I did, because it's just a very basic Express server, and pretty much like Remix takes care of everything. So we're gonna have to switch that around. We're gonna have to build a Docker image that will build this, and then we'll deploy it to fly.io. If we have time, I would really like to investigate setting up a GitHub action to take care of deploying it when things merge into main. So that is something that was kind of automatically set up with render. It's automatically set up with Vercel, and we just need to like do some GitHub workflow stuff to make that happen. So that's what I plan on doing today. Oh my goodness, yeah, okay, cool, stop. Stop sending me messages. My Windows machine just has been like non-stop sending me messages. I think it doesn't like it that I like turn it off whenever I'm done with it. So like every time I turn it on, it's like, oh, while you were away. Sure. So let's take a look at the board, because there was something that I did. So we are down to 6 open items. Really 5 if you think about what Rob and I did on Friday, because we took care of this one, migrate to multi-region CockroachDB serverless cluster. I'm gonna wait a little bit before I check that one off, because 23.1 of CockroachDB is going to land in serverless really soon, and so I want to make sure that everything's like okay with that before I check that one off. But in the meantime, today, this is the one we're going to work at. Switch deployments to platform that supports streaming and multi-region deploys. And so this is going to unblock being able to do, well, actually the combination of these is going to unblock being able to do some of the other ones, like implementing CDC with a webhook sync. Yeah, that's the big one for that. So yeah. But the one that is missing, the one that I did actually do after the stream last week, was we have a README page now, and we have a license. I don't think I put the license in before, but we're MIT licensed. We have README. So here we go, charity activations. We got our tech stack. I haven't filled in the hosting yet because I was kind of on the fence, but also I wanted to like make sure it was working. Information about customization, the database setup, a link to our really cool ER diagram. This is something that I started doing because there are some people who just like to see an ER diagram, and as part of Prisma, you can have it generate one for you. So if we open this, just open a new, this is using the Mermaid.js integration with GitHub Markdown. And so here are all of our, like, so we got our source types. So these are our enums. This is our view, and then we've got our tables, and you can kind of see how they all relate to each one of them. Yeah. So if you are a fan of ER diagrams, here you go. We got one on the page, so that's always kind of cool. Before I was kind of like drawing this out myself using like a Scally draw, but it's great when you can just have it generated every time. You know, it generates a new version of the client. Information about the environment variables and how to get it. That's interesting. Yeah, development, I think that one's pretty okay. Deployment, after we get our deployment figured out, then I will update that. And then last but not least, the license. So we have a nice looking charity activations. I tried to outline out the stack with the different things that we're using. But yeah. Okay. So let's get to it. I don't know if this might be like out of date. I'm kind of using it for notes right now. Okay, so over here I have our application. And you can see, I believe it's in here, where it tells us, so for the server, so if it's running in development, it's undefined. Otherwise, it's accessing server.ts. Am I in the right thing? Yeah. And so here's server.ts. And as you can see, this server.ts is pulling the create request handler from Vercel. So we're going to have to update this for it to be not Vercel, for an Express app. And there's plenty of code floating around that we can just copy and paste in. Like I said, it's pretty boilerplate for this. So that's where it's saying what server, and then the server build path. This is where the the serverless function is. So if you use serverless functions in Vercel, they go inside the API folder here. So we got this little API folder, and then I believe this is where all of the generated stuff just gets dumped. So as you can see, very pretty, very pretty. But we're gonna get rid of that, and yeah, I think so. That's the first thing, is we need to switch this. So instead of using the Vercel infrastructure, we need to use the Node.js infrastructure. So let's see. I guess we could open up my other project here, and see how that's all working. So let me open another tab. And yes, it's Adrian Stream Remix. Just open up code here. Oh, well, hello, you're big. Let's get rid of that. So if we look down here in the remix config, we don't have to give it any of that, because I think what's going to happen is we're going to be using basically the defaults. If we, not there. Let me look in this one. So for server, see a server entry point relative to the root directory that becomes your server's main module. If specified, Remix will compile this file along with your application into a single file to be deployed to your server. This can be either a .js or .tx extension. So I wonder if the default for this config is like server.ts or server.js, because I did notice that this is something that they didn't use. This is going to go back to being the default build path. All of this stuff got mixed up because I have the ESLint plugin that's basically alphabetizing everything, and it just ignores the comments, so those don't make any sense anymore. So let's go take a look at the documentation. Here we go. Can I go to remix.config.js? Here we go. Well, this is gotchas and missteps. I want to see about defaults. This might not be the page that we want. Configuration. Docs on configuration. Okay. So server. Here we go. Yeah. So it just says, if specified, Remix will compile this file along with your application into a single file to be deployed to your server. Another thing that I like to do is take a look at, we'll probably go back to that. Go and look at the templates. So whenever you create a new Remix project and you select a template, they're all sitting right here. So you can go look at the code anytime you want. If we take a look at the Express one, we can see like what it puts. So it's not specifying at all. And for the Express template, it just has a server.js sitting here, which should be fine for us. Let's take a look at the package. Wait. And actually, yeah, let's take a look here. Do we have the server module format? So it's CJS. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with this. So kind of going back to the template of what it would have been if we would have selected this when we started. So again, step number one, we're just going to get this working with an Express Node and Express backend, and then we'll package it up into a Docker image to be able to deploy it to fly. So yeah, so I guess we'll start by cleaning up some of this. I'm gonna get rid of these. It doesn't really matter. These comments. Build path. Okay, so we do want to keep tailwind true. We want to keep that. The server build path, we're going to make that be the default. I think this is just not set here. Yeah, so we shouldn't need that, so we'll take this out. Okay, so that should be fine for that. Now let's go and take a look at this server TS, and I do want to uninstall this, so try to clean up the package JSON if at all possible. So let's do, not this one, npm uninstall remix run Vercel. All right, we can just delete this API folder. I think it's in the git ignore anyway, but just, you know, cleaning up a little bit. Oh yeah, delete the .vercel folder. That should be fine. Everything in app should be okay. So let's just collapse that. We're not going to be dealing with that right now. Everything in env is good. So we've got server TS. I think we can just get rid of this. Yeah. So I'm going to get rid of this one. We're going to go with server.js. I feel like, well, I don't know. We'll let's stick with the template. We can play around with it later. I just want to get it working. Just get it working, Adrian. Just do it. So I'm going to go ahead and trash that. And we'll create a new one that's just server.js. All right, so and that's nice and blank. And we'll go over here and grab the server.js from the, let's go raw, from the template. And it's probably going to be mad, and we're going to have to install some things. Got a lot of requires. All right. So let's take a look at what we have installed. Lots of dependencies. So we are going to need, you know, it takes up so much space, but just to have everything on one screen, I'm gonna open up this terminal. And we are going to npm install big D at remix run express. So we do need that. And then there's compression, express, and Morgan. So I don't think we have those. They would be in the regular. Wait, compression, is that? Oh Lord, what's in the cache? npm install. You know what? I don't know why I'm guessing. We have it right here. Let's take a look at what's in their package JSON. Oh, did I install the Express as a... I did Big D. Let's see, let's uninstall this and we'll reinstall it in the right place. How about that? We'll just do a regular install. Okay. This is not a warp terminal. Okay. Express, node, compression, Express, Morgan, so we can install those. npm install compression, Express, Morgan. All right. It's like I needed to like yell at me. So we've got all these. I mean, that looks kind of good. We'll see if anything happens. So let's go up here and see what. So for start, we've got crossenv. Is that up here? Here's our package JSON. Well, we have no start, so I guess we're gonna need that. Let's go ahead and copy this. And I think I'll have to install crossenv. Then that type check. Start. So here's crossenv. Oh, over here. npm install crossenv. Okay. Failed to save package JSON. Content of the file. Oh. I hate when that happens. So for over here. So build, we've got remix build. That's good. Dev, run npm run all build parallel dev. So there's a dev for running the node, and then there's a dev for remix, which is using remix watch. I don't think that's how my other one uses. Let me see what I'm doing over here. When you get used to boilerplate, you just don't take the time to figure out why you're doing things. Yeah, I think part of this is, and because are we using the unstable dev server? I think that's part of the changes why it's confusing me. Yeah, we are. So one thing we should probably do is go over to that branch. Is it still there? So they have the templates v2 dev. Yeah, so that did change a little bit. So we can just do a regular dev, and it will be this. But I want to make sure, I need to go back and make sure that nothing changed with the server.js. Because I, as part of the unstable dev, there is a part where the server has to make a call once it's ready. And so we need to make sure that that's in there. Okay, so cool. We have our new dev. We have a start, which I believe is the same right there, right? Crossenv, node in, production node, server.js. Perfect. Works for me. I've got some other things in here. And let's go back and check. Whoops, I went back to main. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's go over here and check our server. Okay, yeah, so it is different. Let's go back and check our... So here, we're doing server modules format ESM. Am I doing that over here? Yes, okay. So we're gonna change this. I think that's the only change that we need to make. So instead of formatting them as common JS, we're gonna use ESM. Cool. What's the... Let's see, less than equal to 14. I think we want to do 18. It still says 14. Interesting. I'm going to switch it to 18. Because 14 is about to go out. And that's what I've been using is 18. Let's check Node.js. So yeah, so the LTS is version 16. And then the current is 20. Whew. Like when I started using Node, I think it was like 0.10. It's a long time ago. And I remember 0.12. Yeah. So cool. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and change that. Yeah, so the server is now very different. So let's just go ahead and grab it from the template. This is using the ESM or ES modules. So it's going to look a little different. Chokidar, got compression. That's Node.fs, so that's fine. Morgan, we got that. I think Chokidar, we need that. Let's go find out. Back to the package JSON. Yes. So let's go over here, and that was a dev dependency, so we'll npm install big D Chokidar. And I think there was, I think I had to switch that to be a dynamic import, or did I do that? Let's take a look at server.js. Where are you at? Chokidar. I don't know if that's the way you say it. It's kind of fun to say if it's that way. So we got the watcher. Yeah, I think the problem is we're only using it if it's development. Did I do something? No, it'd be in this one. Let's see. Yeah, because I removed it from up there. And in this development server, so we got create dev request handler is now an async function. Is it over here? Yeah, and then we're doing this dynamic insert of the Chokidar. So let's go ahead and work on fixing this. I probably should have done like a pull request to fix this up on the template, but there was like things I had to sign and something to set. Yeah, it didn't work. But for the time being, then bring in our dynamic import here. get rid of this here. And then did we have to do something up here? I just awaited it. So because we made that an async function, we now have to await this. And I believe we're taking advantage of top level await, which is pretty cool. There's the broadcast. So once the app starts listening, the Node.js app starts listening, if it's development here, it's going to broadcast dev ready, and so that's what the new HMR hot module reloading. Yeah, that's what it needs. Is it HMR, or did we go to a different kind of thing? I don't know. I can't remember. Back on track. Back where we were. Okay, so I feel like we're really close to being able to run this again. Yay! We're if everything works right, nothing changed, except for it's not running on Vercel. All right, so there's our server.js. I'm going to close that. I think everything else is fine. Let's see if is there anything in here it looks like it doesn't belong. I feel like there was like more Vercel stuff that we could get rid of. Vercel node. Let's get rid of that. NVM uninstall. Let's see, Apollo client. We'll get rid of you next. We got remix node, remix react. That's cool. That's all cool. Got a lot of things. So there's GraphQL and stuff. We'll get rid of that. There's our Morgan, our React stuff. Yeah, I think that's good. I need to do something off screen. Let's go back over here real quick, because I can't remember if I undid it the last time I was working with this. And yeah, nope. Let's comment out that one. And we want this one. Okay. Yes. I'm going to close that file, and then we'll come back. Oh, hi. Hey, Atticus. Man, we... we are getting some really good RSVPs for the Remix meetup that's happening tomorrow night at the Cockroach Labs headquarters in Manhattan, Chelsea. We have, I think, over 60 RSVPs. So, I mean, I don't expect everybody, no, 70 RSVPs. I don't expect everybody to show up, but we'll probably have more than before, I guess, and more than normal. But we do have a good talk. Where's the event for tomorrow? So we do have a good talk by... Where's it at? Reading this on a little phone. So by Patrick McCullough. He's doing a farewell to Mearns, how I converted my site to Remix. So this would be interesting. I used to work with the Mearns stack. But I'm also Remix, but I also changed the M, so I guess I could have been working on the CERN stack. Yeah. Okay. Shall we fire this up? Let's see if the dev will work. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna run npm install just for good measure. I always have this situation where like I pull code that I worked on from like some other machine, and then I forget to run npm install, and it's like we don't have access to this or whatever. And okay, so everything seems to be fine. You can see here regenerated the Prisma client, and then also we generated our entity relationship diagram. So that's that what I showed you earlier. That's available on the repo, which is pretty cool. Here we go. Fingers crossed. npm run dev. Oh, okay, wait. Cannot use import statement outside of a module. Okay. So, wait. We need to set the type to module, I bet. So let's take a look. That's something that's inside of package JSON. So that's the server. Package JSON. Do they have the module? Yeah, type module. So we need to update it in ours. I think we put it just like right after the side effects. Yeah. Okay. And I'm like, will that affect anything else? Because I might have to change things to use either ES modules if it supports it, or change it from JS to .cjs, so that way it knows the difference. Do we have anything out here sitting with .cjs? Remix config, so that should be fine. Is it? Oh, is ours using modules? It is not. Okay, so we need to fix that. So we need to change this into an import statement, and I think there's like a quick fix. Convert to ES module. Oh, look at that. Whoa, I don't like that. I don't like all the things that it did there. That's a lot of exports. Okay. All I wanted you to do was... Yeah, okay. We're going to do this ourselves. So we're going to say import flat routes, and then instead of require, we're going to do from, and get rid of this. Wait, I keep that. Okay, so we're importing. That's good. Now we need to do export default. Export default here. And that should be good. Let me see, because I think we added. Did we add a satisfies, or that's the TS? What I did on nope. Yeah. So export default. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So it kind of looks like that. So now this file is an ES module. So it's happy about that. Let's take a look at. So all these other ones could be problems. So here's post CSS, which is using the module.exports. Am I doing that over here? Yeah, so we just need to change that. I'm going to copy that over too. Nice little type thing. And so this is just going to be export default. So again, because we switched that type, so we're saying that they're ES modules by default, we need to make sure that all of our JS files are ES modules, where some of them might have been common JS. If we can't switch them, It's not a big deal. We can just change the extension to .cjs, so that way Node knows that it's still written in the common JS format. This is fine because that's .ts for TypeScript. ESLint. How did I handle this one? On this one, I just switched it to .cjs here. And I don't know if this is one like that. We couldn't get it to work as I couldn't get it to work as an ES module. Whoops. Actually, someone who has gotten things to work as ES modules is the Epic stack. Epic stack. So if we look and see, what have they got? Oh, they also did it. Yeah, so they also just changed to .cjs. So yeah, it's fine. But we'll go ahead and change that so it doesn't complain about it here later. Let's take a look at everything else. I think that's fine. That's just a JSON file, so that's fine. Do we need to change any of this? Because we got the target. Let's take a look. I'm like, now I gotta check. I feel like I just need to check everything. TS config. So ES19. Node targets ES19. I feel like we can, change that up, but I don't know. No emit. Okay, so all that's fine. I think all this is fine. We're gonna say it's fine. It's fine. Fine. Close that. We don't need that open anymore. All right. So now we'll just close that out and we'll try again. All right, big bucks, no whammies. Big bucks, no whammies. Here we go. Loading those environment variables. Building. Dev servers. Oh. Unsupported dir import. Internal process. Trigger unconstancy. Directory import. Subscription is not supported. Resolving ES modules imported from. Do you mean to import this? I'll be glad whenever. So this might be where I do need to put this in to the server dependencies, the bundle. So let's try. Let's give that a try. And I think it takes all or string, okay, an array of strings or irregular expressions. So let's give it an array with a string, and we're going to give it Apollo client. I want you to work because I'm going to rip that out. Like we're going to replace that with using CDC to a webhook. Which I think is cooler because we have CockroachDB taking care of all of that, and so we know it's going to be distributed because we'll have CockroachDB nodes all over the world as part of our multi-region cluster. It will be able to send the messages out, and the nearest application will be able to take it, and then to get it to the front end, we will just use server sent events, and which we'll be able to do now because Node and Express handles that. So I like that, and also this has just always kind of given me problems. So let's give that a try. And we'll try it again. Cool. So that's something that's interesting. It's like, it's possibly an ASM module. You should include it. Well, I included that one. Oh, and by the way, here are some other ones. Is not supported resolving modules imported from. Okay, so let's undo what we just did. Had like such a good feeling that like this was gonna be just such an easy part to handle. I'm gonna go ahead and close this or quit that. And so where we are pulling in our subscriptions, that would be on the dashboard. So let's go ahead and take a look. Routes, dashboard, so is it that? Client link subscriptions, so it must be the use subscriptions here. Or do we have another? I think we have another utils here. Maybe not. Oh, Apollo. Here we go. So is there... could not find a declaration file for module. Okay, no, so it doesn't like that. So there's something with at Apollo client add node browser ESM support. What version are we using? We are using Apollo client 3.7.12. Let's see what some of this stuff says. This would probably mean that type module. See, this could also be accomplished by switching all generated module files in dist folder to NJS file extension and changing. Okay. we have the same issue. Okay. Here's a gist. Oh wow, this is old. Like, well, people don't like this. Bundle. Oh, we're in this year now. Just kind of looking through all this. So that says closed. It was mentioned. Okay, so that didn't really... Alright, let's go back over here. So this is our import. Because there's the CJS. It doesn't like that, not at all, not one bit. So I know that on... Where did it go? Do I just keep closing windows? On the Epic stack, they did go through and change everything to ESM modules, which is probably a good idea. It's the future. But, oh, no, I want... Give me the... Yes. Blog post. Fine, we'll go back to here. Let's see. So if we go to look at, what they're doing, so like in the root, I'm going to double check these settings here. Make sure. So this was their tsconfig JSON. Let's see, isolated modules, ES module interrupt. Module resolution node. Resolve JSON module true. Yeah. Force consistent casing and file name. Space URL. Okay, so those are all the same. Server module format. That's fine. Let's go. ESM. All right. See, at Apollo client remix. How to use the Apollo client with remix. Let's see if did they do anything special. Yep. Apollo client, that's cool. The Apollo docs outline a few differences from a typical client-side initialization. You provide SSR mode true. This prevents Apollo client from refetching queries unnecessarily. Okay. All right. It's like I want to get past this so we can write a Docker file. Sending out the client. Make TypeScript happy. That's the global object thing. We're not doing it that way because we only have one page that's using it, so I didn't put it on every page. Yeah. See, they probably didn't set their type to module. You can find the code on GitHub. Yeah, let's do that. We can check real quickly on the package JSON. Yeah. So they're not using ESM modules. I mean, I could take it out. Because we're gonna replace it anyway, and then I can deploy it. Where the main difference is, we're not gonna have the automatic updates, but it's still working, like on the Vercel deployment. Or I guess I could add all of those things to, you know what, let's go down that road and see if I add all of these to the server dependencies bundle. Server dependencies to bundle. So just do these one by one. All right, so we're gonna do Apollo client. TS variant, TSN variant. So I don't even know if this is going to like fix it. It just seems like a lot of work there. Whatever this thing is, and this one. And you too, why not? All right, so we've added all those. Try it again. All right, so still has a problem. Even though we put those in, doesn't care. Yeah, so I don't think this matters. I don't think this is actually part of the issue. I'm gonna just take those back out. Error unsupported dir import. Can we see where it is happening? Do you mean to import at link subscriptions.cjs? At link. And I think it got mad. So here, if we were to do so this is just TypeScript not being able to find matches. Okay. I've seen that waiting for app server before. It never comes. You just have to restart it. Okay. Is not supported. Did you mean utilities CJS? Am I using that? Yeah. Well, let's try that too. Utilities.cjs. And we'll restart this. Today's big waste of time is brought to you by Apollo. Okay, cool. Named export Apollo client cannot be found. The requested module is a common JS module, which may not support all module.exports as named exports. Common modules can always be imported via default export. All right, well, let's try that. So at least it's like all in here. So we're going to take this and we're going to replace it with that. That's just mad about the order. But it's mad about so many things. Oh my gosh, this is a mess. A mess, I say. Okay. Where are you at? Oh, you know what? I bet that's over on the page that uses it. So back over on the dashboard where we have this. So again, we're going to just grab this and replace that. And I think we need to also do this Apollo client CDS. Did it move that? Okay, so that's down there. The errors are gone. Okay. Let's see if it will work. So I'm just gonna go run this. That's a good sign. Also a good sign. Okay, so it wants my authenticator code. Oh, application error. Element type is invalid. Expected a string, but got object. What? So element type is invalid. Expected a string for built-in components or a class function for composite components, but got object. What's going on, dashboard? This is not the right file. We're going to ignore these. We're going to ignore all that red for right now. Let's go up to our admin dashboard. I think it's fine. I mean, it should be fine. Okay. So that worked. Just there's something on the dashboard. Let's see if, I don't know, one of these other... Unexpected server error. Element type is invalid. Expected a string. Alright, so it's not happy. this is too short-lived to like be this big of a problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pull out the GraphQL stuff because we're not gonna use it anymore. So it's not gonna cause too big of a problem. It's just we're not gonna get real-time updates on that dashboard. And right now they're I thought I stepped on my dog, but I just stepped on all of his toys he's amassing underneath my desk. But we don't have any events going on right now, so yeah. Okay, let's just stop this. Stop the madness. So I'm gonna start by getting rid of this. We don't need this anymore. So let's delete. Yeah, move that to the trash. And now we need to go into that other file, our dashboard slug, and we are going to remove, yeah, this, and there's our init Apollo. Okay, gonna remove that. We're gonna remove this. Yep, don't need that anymore. And we don't need this GraphQL stuff anymore. Whenever I was doing this, like the scenes, I was going down the lines of like using the GraphQL subscriptions to do everything, and then somebody's like, "Why don't you just use server sent events?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't. You know what? Okay." And so I did it, and it's been so much easier not having to deal with all that stuff. And if you like that stuff, you know, more power to you. I did not. Okay, so now we don't have this, and so I think we're just gonna be getting rid of some of these use effects. What? Oh, yeah, I think for like non-subscribers it does it. I don't know, it's affiliate stuff. I have it turned off for subscribers, not that I have a lot of those there too, but oh, weird. I'm not telling it to pop up. I'm just sitting here cursing at GraphQL. Oh. Well, yeah, people think they need to make money. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of that. Which this whole use effect is pretty much just like... So... Yeah. We're ripping out GraphQL. I'm gonna replace it with a combination of Cockroach DB, CDC, or change data capture going to a webhook, and then from the webhook we're going to use server sent events to send it forward. So and it's like not playing nice, like it's never played nice, but like now it's being just straight up mean. Oh my gosh, charities, init charities. I think I can just do, let's take out this init charities and take out this. We don't need the state. Okay, well, it's happier. Cool. Don't need that type, that's fine. And then what's using just plain React? Take these out, they're not being used. Okay, so that should be fine. I think that's it. That's all that it was doing. So I had to do a lot of research to get the subscriptions, the GraphQL subscriptions, to work with Remix, and everybody wanted to like stick them in to where they worked with like every part of the site. But I was like, nah, man, like we only want this on the dashboard, and so I got it working on the dashboard. But so the dashboard should still work, but what we've done is we've just removed all of that stuff. So now let's do the fun part of removing them from the package.json. So npm uninstall Apollo client. And then there's something else in here. Oh, GraphQL. GraphQLWS. Anything hanging around? All right, let's get rid of that. Boom, gone. All right, now let's go back. I'm gonna clear this. We don't need this energy. We don't need this energy right now. We're just gonna npm run dev again. I tell you, after this, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get on the exercise bike, just listen to my audiobook, and like, yeah. Okay. So now we can see if the dashboard still loads. What is your deal? What is this? It's like all of a sudden they're like, we can't render things. Check your code at dashboard slug 183. Okay. 183. So it doesn't like something. 183, 183. So this is all the code where it's loading, and that would make sense why it's also doing it on that other dashboard. So this is the code where it's loading the SVG strings from the database. But why would that have changed? Did something happen? There is a package that I use. What is that package called? It does seem to be gone. I wonder... So let's see. SVG... React inline SVG. So is it still, I mean, it would probably complain a different way if it wasn't there. React inline SVG. Why would that have all of a sudden stopped working? All right. Let's check our database. I'm going to do that using Prisma Studio. Why? So if we look at the charities, so here's our logo SVG. As you can see, they are SVGs of the logos. That should be fine. Okay, let's close that. So what is happening? Expected a string for built-in components or a class got an object. So 183 each time. Unhappy with it. So let's comment this out. HMR and HDR. Yeah. Okay. So it's definitely something with those. I don't know what's going on. So what it used to do was display the logos for the charities down here. And now it's decided it doesn't want to. So before we got 3 errors, there were 4 photos, or 4 logos. Well, there's 1 error, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, there are 4. Warning, react.jsx type is invalid, expected a string. Just hitting like wall after wall. Why are we like this? Let's console log out our charities. So console.log charities. So we can see what's coming out in there. Did I not just say console log that? Oh, because I did it in the loader. Here. I want it here. There we go. So we got an array for our SVG, which is big. I mean, nothing looks wrong. Okay. Main, yeah. So all of this stuff is rendering. We are getting down into this div, which shows up after this. We're mapping over the charities. React.fragment. That's why we have React imported. Let's see. Let's just... Okay, so let's uncomment this. And then I'm going to comment out the SVG just to see if it's this component that's having issues. And so I will say... Let's do div and we'll do charity dot, I don't know, color. That's fine. Okay. So it's definitely something with the SVG component. So it does say that it's using the ESM. Or, well, maybe... Okay, so let me take this out. And we will uncomment this. Whoop. Okay, wait. Yeah, so it's not yeah, I don't know, maybe. Where are you at? I think. Maybe I should have done this off stream so we could do fun things on stream. Remix to load an ESA module type. Set type in the package.js or use. Oh, why? Wait. Where is that even happening? Okay. Let's just go back to this. I wonder if I should just blow away the node modules and like do an install again. Maybe they're just like things that are messed up. Okay, we'll do that next. Because I did go through and like delete a whole bunch of stuff and thought I took away that console log. Okay, we'll take away this one. We don't need that one. Yes, so let's, what is this cache? Okay, so let's, I don't know, do some cleaning that may or may not do anything. I'm gonna get rid of this cache. It will. And then I am going to, I'm going to delete the build folder. And I'm going to delete the node modules folder. Yep, it's unhappy. That's fine. Okay. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do an npm install so we can get everything back. I mean, it's possible things could have got like junked up because I changed things and removed things. Who knows? But if all else fails, no. Here we go. I'm wondering if I should have got rid of my package lock. We'll find out. Okay, so that seemed fine. Now, let's do npm run dev. Did it say anything about the Express server before? I feel like that's the first time I saw it say the Express server was running. No, I guess it's right there. Will this still poop out? Very much so. Yeah, so it is that one library that I'm using to render the SVGs that it does not like. Because if I comment out this section, it's just fine. My laptop is got the fan on. It's not happy about it. So, okay, so let's take a look at ESM. Cannot convert source to React element. I don't think this is it. But let's go look at this repo. Import SVG from, okay, so that's what we're doing. Cool, everything's cool. Lots of stuff there. I wonder what happens if I add an on error. Will it like still be upset? Or will it just throw everything to the console log? Nope. I think I need to kill it and do it again. So step one was to switch this to using Node, and everything worked. We're still on step one. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't care about that at all. Element type is invalid. Let's copy this out. Oh, well, this looks promising. That's not an answer. The best way to display an SVG in React Native. React Native? No, this isn't. It's not a React Native project. Okay, so maybe not that one. React Native. Seems to be a very React Native type thing. No, those are just icons. Importing SVG as React components, inline SVGs. Let's go to that. Did we? What? Okay, I passed it somehow. Oh. As an image tag, JSX, background. converting SVG into a React component. As data URL. Okay, so that's not helpful. Okay, let's just take a look at. I don't. So this is what we're using. Let's go over to the import it, did that, just passing the source, a string, the SVG file you want to load. It can be a require URL or string. Okay. I guess, let me find SVG. Actually, we've got these. Where are the hero icons? Hero icons. So let's just take one of these, and I'm going to copy the SVG. And what I'm going to do, I'll take this out, is for the source here, I am going to just comment that out. Let's say source is equal to let's do this. Source. No. All right, we gotta copy that again. Copy the SVG, put it in here. What's your deal? Expect source to come before, oh, fine. I don't know why it expected source to come before class name. Because S comes after C, but I don't know. Let's see if this will load. We'll just start again. So we'll see if it's really that library that's doing it, I guess. Okay. No. So it's something with this library. Maybe it just doesn't like that we're using modules. So let's try something else. We can go back in here and we can take this out, and then we can do the opposite. Instead of doing .cjs, we can do, so this now can just be .js, and then this we can change to MJS. Rename this rename MJS. That's TS, so that's fine. And then we'll probably have to go into here. And server.mjs. Let's see if that does anything different. Ugh. Let's see. Yeah, MJS extension. But what is it? It is build index. Okay. I think the other thing that I need to do is go in here and instead of ESM, we'll change this back to CJS. So that way, what's being built is back to common. I think there's just too many weird things happening. And it's like taking up the majority of the stream. Like, I'm not gonna be able to finish what I'm wanting to do. I thought this was gonna be the easy thing because I just did it. Okay. Okay. So it's loading again. Let me go in and take this out so it's not doing this silly thing. All right. Oh, come on. That really should have did it. But I think this is what we're gonna have to do for right now. We're marking the ES modules with .mjs. We're defaulting it to common.js. Look at that. And then the other thing that we were having problems with was in the admin. Yeah, because it was trying to load them there too. So something about that library is not friendly with ES modules, which sucks. There's probably a way to fix it. I'm not really sure how. I'm gonna have to look into that. But I think it's safe to say that this is now working on Node. Seems to be. But I'm now out of time. So the next part would be to create a Docker file to package all this up as an image that we can deploy to fly.io. And I might just like go ahead and do that off stream in case I run into any other problems. And then I'm just gonna have to make a note to kind of look and see what needs to be done to switch things, get things over to just deploying them as ESM. I'll read what they did on the Epic Stack because they went through that whole process there. But the good news is we did get rid of the Vercel stuff. So we just can't, deploy it yet. And I'm not going to push this up because then it would break things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a branch here. Let's get rid of that, so we don't need that. And close this window. So let's go ahead and move all this stuff over into a branch. Let's see, what do we got here? Some untracked files. So git checkout b move to fly io. Wow, that was not the word checkout at all. Okay. Cool. So now we're on this status. Let's add our untracked files. I'm just going to go over here, click the button. Yeah, just going to add them all. Cool. So get status. That's fine. So let's do get commit am. We're gonna say working as a Node.js and Express application. Cool. So now we've got all that into a branch, so that way I don't accidentally push it to main and override the app that's still working. But yeah, so we couldn't do type equal module. There were some things that were upset. I'm gonna figure that out. And so what we were able to do was the stuff that we've turned into modules, we can mark those as .mjs, and then Node knows how to handle that. And then we told Remix just to build everything as common.js. And we also ripped out the GraphQL stuff, which probably didn't need to. It's probably a different thing, but I didn't like it, and we're gonna rip it out anyway, so we did it. That's it for today. I am going to work on some of this outside, so we can, I don't know, I want to do fun things on the stream, like, and running into problems and not being able to solve them is not fun to me. But we're on the home stretch. We're gonna get this deployed to fly.io. We can start building webhooks and event subscriptions to replace the GraphQL that we just took out. And yeah, moving right along. In the meantime, I'm working on some other projects, constantly working on my streaming setup, the application that goes with that. I'm also working on a website for the Corgi meetup that we go to. So we just did that over on Sunday or on Saturday as well. So I don't know. I will see everyone next week. Same time, same channel, Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern. Until then, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.